Chapter 8. By wisdom a house is built, and through understanding it is established. Through knowledge its rooms are filled with rare and beautiful treasures. Proverbs 24, 3 and 4. I arrive early at the airport with a large sunflower. I am also wearing a radiant smile. It is the second thing people notice, right after the big sunflower. I stand at the arrival gate in eager anticipation. Finally, the plane arrives and people are soon walking down the ramp. As Cindy, my girlfriend, leaves the plane, she sees the flower, towering above the heads of the waiting crowd. And instantly she knows I am close by. A moment later, Cindy is in my arms. Welcome to Hawaii. I grin, handing her the gargantuan blossom. According to Hawaiian traditions, you're supposed to meet me with a flower lei. Cindy is most happy when she is giving me a hard time. But this is such a nice sunflower, I say in the flower's defense. I really wanted to come to the airport. It really wanted to come to the airport. And it is very pleased that you are here. This is my third date with Cindy. I have asked her to join our Cousteau expedition in Maui, Hawaii, where we are diving with humpback whales. An hour later, she and I are walking down the floating pier in Lahaina Yacht Harbor. It is early morning and our boat will soon be getting underway. For this expedition, I have chartered a 32-foot twin-screwed cabin cruiser named Sea Otter. This is a very fast boat. Jean-Michel Cousteau and Michel Delory, our cinematographer, are on deck prepping an underwater cinema camera. Cindy is beginning to get nervous about joining the Cousteau expedition. The only member of the team she knows is Jean-Michel Cousteau. Steve, she takes my arm. I really want to be part of the team, so don't hesitate to put me to work. I can cook, wash dishes, help with the dive gear, anything. I already have a job for you. I smile mischievously. Chief deck scrubber? Sandy grins, squeezing my arm. No, I deadpan. Actually, I thought you might drive the boat. What? Cindy sputters. As a student missionary in the South Pacific, she spent a lot of time operating small craft. She also worked a summer job in a marina. I know she is well qualified for the assignment. Would you rather wash dishes? I asked playfully. Treat your skipper with more respect, or I'll have you scrubbing the deck, sailor, Cindy replies, punching me lightly in the chest to reinforce her statement. I like being punched by Cindy. It means she's in a playful mood. Yes, ma'am, Captain Bligh, I answered. As always, I'm surprised how quickly Cindy adapts to new situations. Though I'm already carrying her heavy dive bag, she abruptly slings her other bag into my free hand. Quick, take this. Why? I asked. Cindy grins. Because, silly, I need both my hands for hugging Jean-Michel Cousteau. For the next week, Cindy's main job is to keep the charter boat in the general vicinity of our dive operations as a support vessel. From it, we reload cameras, charge our scuba tanks, and launch the rubber Zodiacs for approaching the whales. Unfortunately, this means that Cindy is always a good distance from the main whale activity. That is, until that one special day. It is a blustery, stormy morning toward the end of the expedition. The gusting wind is whipping the surface into frothy whitecaps. The Zodiacs are in close attendance with a fast-moving pod of 15 whales when the humpbacks make an abrupt turn directly toward our support vessel. Jean-Michel Cousteau, who is operating the onboard, quickly grabs the walkie-talkie. Cindy, this is Jean-Michel, he calls urgently. Cindy here, comes the rapid reply. Shut down your engines. The whales are heading straight for you. Jean-Michel turns our Zodiac and goes in rapid pursuit. Roger, going dead in the water, Cindy answers, then hoots loudly. Hearing her eager enthusiasm, I look in the distance and see Cindy prancing down from the flying bridge for a close-up view of the oncoming humpbacks. The whale pod we are following consists of a single female, and the rest are all large males. It is the end of the breeding season, and the cow is running from 14 hefty admirers, each of whom weighs up to 25 tons. She's trying to flee, but the only apparent shelter is Cindy's boat. On board the sea otter, Cindy has no idea why 15 whales are heading in her direction. She is just ecstatic to be in their path, not realizing that her little boat is actually their destination. The whales, which are some of the largest creatures on Earth, are coming at full speed. Cindy couldn't be happier as she sees the charging cow surface 50 feet away. The massive humpback is torpedoing straight for the small boat. When the approaching whales are only 20 feet away, the cow submerges, passing mere feet beneath the sea otter's keel. Cindy rushes to the other side, expecting to see the huge whale swimming away. Instead, she gets the shock of her life. The cow has gone from full speed to a dead stop as she tries to hide by lying alongside the small cabin cruiser. The 32-foot long boat only shelters the front half of the massive whale. Cindy's shriek of surprise is drowned out completely by the boisterous arrival of the 14 bulls. Some of them breach, lifting their 25-ton bodies high out of the water, then slam back into the ocean with tremendous force. Whitewater from the whale-induced belly whompers explodes into the air. The strong trade winds send a cascade of falling water showering across the boat's deck, soaking Cindy, much to her delight. The bulls fight among themselves, each trying to get next to the cow. They ram each other repeatedly, littering the water with small floating pieces of whaleskin from the enormous impacts. The mad excitement increases as several of the inflamed bulls swing their mammoth tails high into the air. For a heart-stopping moment, their giant flukes wave vigorously 2 stories above the water, doubling the height of the sea otter. Then the tails slam down with tremendous force. The sharp impacts echo across the water like a row of cannons firing in rapid succession. Amazingly, with all this incredible sound, I can still hear Cindy's yelps of ecstatic excitement. The 32-foot boat rocks wildly from side to side. The cow, realizing that her sanctuary isn't so safe, abruptly makes a run for it. She submerges under the sea otter and flees with powerful strokes of her tail. The bulls charge in pursuit. Many of them pass under the sea otter. Currents from their wake beat against the boat's hull, sending it spinning first in one direction, then the other. The whales are now heading toward the Zodiacs. Jean-Michel cuts the engines and yells, "Quick, everyone into the water!" Michel Delorme is the first one to react as he snatches a mask and rolls over the side. Grabbing an underwater camera, I quickly slip in after him. Together we take several rapid breaths, filling our lungs with air. The whales are but 50 yards away when we both dive beneath the stormy waters. Beneath the surface, the water is deceptively calm. Then we see the whales hurling at us. It is amazing to be in the path of animals the size of 18-wheeler trucks and Greyhound buses. The humpbacks are racing 10 times faster than human swimming speed. It will be impossible for us to get out of their way. It is one of the risks of working with wild animals. Yet, even in their excitement, the whales are graceful swimmers. Long pectoral fins extend from their bodies like wings of a giant bird in flight. Incredibly, each of the racing whales slightly alters its course to keep from running over the two tiny creatures in its path. The cowl passes just beneath us. Michel Delory and I stop our descent as the rest of the whales begin rushing past us. For 30 long seconds, we are in the midst of the vast pod. The mammoth bodies gliding by seem almost surrealistic because there is absolutely no sound. Two of the whales pass directly above us, their massive shadows momentarily blotting out the sunlight. Out of breath, we begin to ascend directly behind them. Only I get caught in the strong surge of a whale wake that sends me momentarily spinning wildly out of control. On the surface, we both pant for air. Between gasps, the trade winds faintly bring me the sound of Cindy shouting. Looking toward the sea otter, I see her waving at us. It takes a moment to realize what she is yelling. They're coming back! Jamming our heads into the water, we see the dark shapes hurling towards us again. Taking two rapid breaths, we plunge back down into the depths. As I swim furiously, taking pictures of the graceful humpbacks, I think how wonderful life is when one pursues wonder and adventure. It is not just a matter of chance that I'm here. Previously, I spent years perfecting my diving skills and purposefully took courses to enhance my qualifications, such as first aid, life saving, scuba instruction, and equipment repair. I also worked on my physical abilities, practicing long distance swimming and breath hold diving. As a U.S. Navy frogman, I spent years leading military dive operations into remote and dangerous locations. I took every possible opportunity to learn more about my chosen trade as a diver. Actively preparing for a dream is the best way to make that goal come true. Of course, opportunity and luck are also heavily involved. Yet, I believe that opportunity is most needed and skill coming together. Opportunity favors the prepared mind. Louis Pasteur. In order to realize our dreams, it is also critical that we be absolutely reliable. When people depend on us, we shouldn't ever disappoint them. Many times when the clock alarm rang at 4 a.m., I didn't want to get up, let alone arrive at my workstation enthusiastic and good natured. Yet these are the type of qualities that team adventures demand. At the depth of 40 feet, I aim my camera at the last bull whale, which is about to pass directly beneath me, and shoot the last frame in the camera. Out of film, I capture the last of the exciting moment with my mind. The rapid swimming whale, 50 feet long, takes only 3 seconds to hurl underneath me. I feel a light current from its passage. Then Michel Delory and I are alone in the vast empty water. Swimming upward, we hoot and shout gleefully into our snorkels. Surfacing short of breath, I see the whales again surrounding the 32-foot boat. Cindy is running from rail to rail and hollering happily at the whales. The wonderful benefit of pursuing and achieving your dreams is that you can take the people you love with you. A dream shared is the best kind of real life fantasy. Just just as in a fairy tale, shared fantasy adventures lead to a purer, happier, and deeper love. Half an hour later, as I climb back onto the deck of the Sea Otter, Cindy hugs me. It is one of the happiest moments of my life. Life has more imagination than we carry in our dreams. Christopher Columbus.